now we're going to talk about 3 damaging mistakes that occur in our writing. So, what are the 3 damaging mistakes? Comma splices, run-ons, and fragments. First, comma splice. A comma splice is 2 independent clauses improperly divided by a comma. So again, 2 independent clauses are 2 simple sentences improperly divided by a comma. So let's take a look at this. Abraham went home. Maria left too. So we have Abraham went home has a subject and a verb, which is, and it's a complete sentence. Maria left too is also a complete sentence. So it cannot properly be divided by the comma. Remember, we need to use the cement in this case if we want them to both stick together. It needs to have a comma and a coordinating conjunction. So Abraham went home, comma, and remember fanboys. As we can see, Abraham went home, comma, and Maria left too. So we have it perfectly cemented together by a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Another way we could do this, as we spoke about when we were talking about compound sentences, is we can think about it, or we can join 2 independent clauses or 2 simple sentences by simply putting a semicolon between 2 closely related sentences. So Abraham went home, semicolon, Maria left too. And that's another way we can correct this comma splice. So now let's go ahead and speak about run-ons. So run-ons are 2 independent clauses, remember 2 simple sentences improperly passed as a single sentence. So rather than even doing the same thing as a comma splice where we put 2 independent clauses and we just try to divide it with a comma, here we don't even put anything. We just pretend that their 2 simple sentences can be joined without any type of punctuation. So we have the same example. Abraham went home. Maria left too. If we wanted to fix this, look at the second option. The same way, fix it in the same way that we fixed the other one. Abraham went home, semicolon, Maria left too. If we wanted to make it a little more simple as well, we could even split it between Abraham went home, period, Maria left too. Because these are 2 independent clauses, they can stand on their own. We can have them be in 2 separate sentences. Now, lastly, we have a fragment. A fragment is a dependent clause passing as a sentence. And remember, a dependent clause cannot be its own sentence because a dependent is somebody or something that depends on something else. So remember, we compared the dependent as almost like a child that has to depend on its parent to survive. In that same way, the dependent clause has to depend on the independent or the simple sentence to survive or to actually become a complex sentence or an actual sentence. Now let's look at an example. So, before Jose left the concert, okay, realize that we have a subordinating clause at the beginning, before. We have a subject and a verb, which if Jose left for the concert was by itself, that would be a complete sentence. But we don't have that. We have a subordinating clause at the beginning. So let's look. Remember, we said that if we wanted to make a complex sentence, we need to have a subordinating clause, with an independent clause. So here, he made sure he had my ticket. Okay, that is a complete sentence. That is a simple and independent sentence that can stand on its own. Now, when we go ahead and merge these together, that makes a complex sentence. We can go ahead and make that into an actual sentence because the dependent is followed along with the independent clause. So how are we going to go about doing this? Well, before Jose left for the concert, remember we have to insert the comma. That's the key to it. Inserting the comma he made sure he had his ticket. Do we have both components? Okay, we have before, which signals that we have a subordinating clause, and we have he made sure he had his ticket, which is an independent clause or a simple sentence. So we have both components. We have the independent clause and the dependent clause with the comma. And remember, we only use the comma when before is at the beginning or the dependent clause is at the beginning. So here we have to use the comma. And the way we can check that this is a subordinating conjunction is just by these. We use before here on the bottom of the chart. We use before, and that's how we can tell that was a subordinating conjunction. And as you start getting a little more familiar, you start recognizing it, because before Jose left for the concert, it automatically asks for more information because it's starting it as if something's going to follow it. So there you have it, 3 crucial mistakes that can be made in your writing. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and until next time.